It's our first annual summer intensive for theater teachers.
There is a need. There's definitely a hunger for teachers.
This theater program here at Montclair has really filled that void.
The information that is given to a teacher here for theater arts is priceless.
The idea has been to allow the teachers to have a week where they, instead of giving out all the time, where they have an opportunity to take in.
You're watching someone throw themselves in front of the bus, and you raise the level, you up the ante.
Most theater teachers, half of their responsibility is to teach theater. They're teaching language arts, social studies, history, they're monitoring the lunchroom. So there's a real sense of isolation a little bit for these teachers.
Everybody, come sit down over here. So this is going to be an exciting day. I feel a little bit like the head counselor in a summer camp for theater teachers. That's what I feel like this week.
I think that listening is just as important as trying to figure out what your lines mean.
Teachers start in the morning with an hour and 15 minutes with Julie, doing voice and speech and working with text.
Monologue work with movement at every punctuation.
When you're reading a text and you're walking through the room and you must turn at every punctuation mark in another direction, just turn in a different direction. It gets you to pay attention to the punctuation, which for young people they tend to either pay too much attention to it so that they're stopping every 3 seconds, or they're not paying attention to it at all. I could use this exercise with literally any text.
Then half the teachers go off and direct for an hour and 15 minutes, and they have lunch. Then they come back, they work with Heather for an hour and 15 minutes on movement.
I've always liked movement. I love dance, and I think it's very important that the body is rhythmic and musical and on stage is comfortable. She allows us to find where our comfortable zones are.
I wanted to take material that would be common ground for the students and the teachers, that the teachers use both in the classroom and on stage. And Shakespeare is the way to go.
Ah, thou hast hit it! Come sit on me!
Asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Women are made to bear, and so are you.
No such jade as you.
They're classics because they're timeless, and there's something in the story that kids can still relate to.
I can say this, I've been afraid of Shakespeare. I don't teach it in the classroom. I'm worried about doing it justice. This has been the first time I actually feel that I can leave this program and begin my advanced acting students with a lot of what I learned here.
Part of our job is to educate and prepare them for life in the world. And the worst thing I can imagine is that any one of my students would ever go out into the world and have somebody say, yeah, just like Romeo, and then look at them like, who?
It's been really especially exciting for me this week to bring the students in with the teachers. That's been the magic of the week for me, is having the teachers and the students together.
Now when you got in front of her, it made her automatically start backing up because, again, she's trying to stay away from you, and that works. And it looks real.
When you're working with people with a little bit more experience and a little bit more life experience, you don't have to explain every single detail. So not only do things move faster, but it ends up being on a deeper level.
Usually with a high school student, you have to baby step with them, and you really have to kind of mold them like a doll. College students, it's a lot easier. The doll already moves, the doll already has emotions. You just pretty much need to maybe chip off a little bit here or add a little bit there, and then you're on your way.
It was very interesting thinking about locations for all these scenes. There aren't enough acting cubes to provide furniture, seating places, but oh dear, we're going to have to go outside. That turned out to be the best decision. We didn't realize the wonderful locations on this campus for Shakespeare scenes or any scene.
Working in the barbecue pit with the scene from Romeo and Juliet, actually when the three of us saw it, it seemed to be sort of a natural fit for a courtyard in Shakespearean times.
It's wonderful for our scene because our scene is A Midsummer Night's Dream, and it takes place in the woods. We couldn't ask for a better set than what we've been provided. It takes a lot of the academic structure out of it and really allows them to explore everything.
We decided to run the classes for 4 days, and on the 5th day see all of the work.
I, madam, within the reach of these my hands, would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
Hence banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death. Then banished is death in its term. By calling death banished, thou cuttest off my head with a golden axe and smiles upon the stroke that murders me.
courteous, kind, handsome. I will follow thee and make a heaven of this hell, to die upon the hand I love so well.
To find out what were they trying to do, how were they trying to use the 5 hours of rehearsal they had with the actors, what were they trying to explore, and did they achieve that?
Every technique, every method, every lesson, everything that's given to you is useful. It's like a toolbox. Sometimes when I'm teaching a class or I'm working with an actor, I don't need any help. I can put up that door by myself. But other times I need a hammer and a nail. And that's when you reach into your bag of tricks, and that's when you reach into these wonderful techniques and methods that have been taught here during this week.
This has been a rare opportunity to have an intensive week of learning and doing and meeting each other, making friends. It really is like camp.
I was so pleased and so proud of the level of excellence with the work in such a short time. So what it tells me is that people want this, they need this, and they're willing to go to the lengths that they have to go to make it right.